Good evening, one and all. I'm Deepa SV. As a part of Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College webinar, I'm presenting today concept on e-learning conflict resolution. Before getting into actual presentation, we shall talk about two main concepts, that is digital literacy and digital citizenship. As we all know very well, this pandemic situation has made us to become inevitable for a digital centric world. We have to know the concept about digital literacy and digital citizenship. As we all know very well, digital literacy is nothing but an ability to utilize the various digital platforms, and digital citizenship refers to the responsible usage of the technology that we do have in utilizing with us. To be a good digital citizen, we need to keep concentration on the logins and passwords and copyright issues, because these are all legal issues. And then we have to keep in mind about appropriateness of the words and images and then search engines and etc. And then we also have to be very responsible in preventing damage and misuse of the platforms that we are talking about. Then we have to be very kind enough with the digital etiquettes and then tone of messages that we are going to use, etc. Today I'm going to talk about e-learning and the solutions for the problems from learners point of view and from instructors point of view. I'm just going to skip this slide and then I'm going to go ahead, because there I have discussed in detail. As learner, we already know very well that we have a problem of digital divide. What do you mean by digital divide? Before getting to know digital divide, we need to win over digital divide. Sorry. Digital divide is nothing but the gap between those students who have, do not have, and they know how to use current technology for transforming education or learning. You do have the gadget with you and you are unable to utilize the technology, that is called as digital divide. And we all know very well that we need to use our knowledge in a better way. Utilization of the best knowledge is more important, because we have to learn, if at all, what we don't know from our peer group or teachers, etc, etc. And then if at all nobody is there for a handy help, definitely you can go for a Google, which is a handy tutor on gadget access. Next I would like to talk about is, dear students, don't give excuses. Excuses, if you go on giving, you can never make any kind of progress in your life. And always keep in mind the level of effort that your teachers will put in to teach you something over the online base or any of the platform. Do respect the efforts by your teachers. Next, I would like to say that raise your voice to state your limitations. Your voice does matter for us. Only if you come up with your limitations, we can get to know, and then we can give probable solutions to attend the classes or make you to reach what content we have to reach you. And one more thing what I would like to say is, you try to get the education or get the concepts or issues explained based on demand. Learn on demand. You ask your teacher, I have not understood this, you explain me once again. Definitely the gap is going to be bridged, and then that is what we are requiring in the modern days with the e-learning. I'm going to talk about mutual involvement, where we are talking about parent involvement is more important in teaching learning process in the e-learning process, because the stakeholders like the teachers, the pupil, the students and the parents are more important, and their participation on involvement is very important. That's why I prefer to call this as a community involvement. Only the community involvement is going to make the teaching learning process a smoother one. Dare to ask your teacher what you want, what kind of a tool that you want for learning process. Either you want it in Zoom, or the Google Classroom, WhatsApp, YouTube, or the virtual classroom, which one you are comfortable, that you put forth to your teachers, and then you try to get the classes done with that particular device. Then it is comfortable for you to listen to the classes as well, rather than giving excuses. Then you need to have a time management. When the teacher says that this is going to be the time for your class, and then you have to be on screen for that particular time, if you're not there, definitely the effort of the teacher goes in vain. And I'm going to talk about collaborative learning. Why you want to just listen from teacher and then keep quiet? Try to create the collaborative learning environment among your friends. After the classes, you come together either on Zoom or on conference call or whatever, whichever you feel comfortable, then speak about what the teacher discussed the day, and then come to a conclusion or get the doubts raised, and then speak to your teacher regarding the doubts and all other clarifications, to get the clarifications for the very next session. That will be more important, and then it is going to make your learning process very interesting. Now I'm going to talk about the the views from teachers' point of view. What we can do it so that we can make the e-learning very comfortable or easier one. First of all, why don't we take a survey from stakeholders? Stakeholders like students and the parents. When we take the survey from stakeholders, definitely it is going to help us in creating a better content so that we can give it to our students in a proper manner. The second one that I am going to talk about is the effective evaluation. When you ask your students to participate in the classroom environment, that is the virtual classroom environment, you talk about their prioritizations, how they have, what is that speaking skills that they have, what is the what the skills that they have to develop, and then how do they have to improve their listening and observational skills, and then how to go for analytical aspects, etc., etc. All these things, if at all reflected, definitely students will take our feedback in a positive manner, and then there is going to be a much more development in the e-learning process. Next, I would like to say a tip to the teachers. Don't dump the content. We all are knowledgeful. Our students are also knowledgeful. Then if there is no use, if we are going to dump the content, if at all we are going to dump the content, the picture as it is showing, it is going to be like that. We are just pouring the knowledge, whether the student is receiving or not, we have no idea. Beyond all these things, learning has to be enjoyed. So the learning process has to be made more fun, lovable, enjoyable. That means go through storytelling and connectivity with all these things, and the day-to-day life, routine life, each and everything you try to connect with your subject. Thereby, definitely the learning teaching process is going to be more fun, and the practical aspect as well. Develop a curiosity among students. What next are we going to learn? That itself is going to make them learn or involve more and more. Definitely, I am going to talk about interactive learning process, which has to be motivated to the students. See, as the picture shows, inside the classroom environment, there is a physical appearance, and then we are definitely, we can make the students interact with us. But then when it comes to online teaching, it is going to be a bit difficult. But then all the gadgets and all the softwares that today we have, each and every student can participate in the learning process. So make use of that learning process for the interactive teaching and learning, dear colleagues. Next thing what I'm trying to tell you is we have to make the learning and teaching process very simple and then very flexible. I cannot say I am going to teach on Zoom and you have to give your attendance on Zoom only and then attend the class, and then I will ask you the questions, or I will give you the assignment. Please, teachers, please friends, don't do that. Do give them multi-device access about your teaching process. Announce them where all you are going to host your teaching, the content, whether it is on Skype or on conference call or on WhatsApp or on YouTube, etc. The students, wherever they feel comfortable, let them access and then let them learn. The main idea is to teach the content that we have to reach them, and then the content in the form of knowledge, it has to reach their minds. That is more important, my dear learned colleagues. Try for collaborative teaching. As I got to know that there are my fellow friends are also there in the WhatsApp group, I got to know. See, now I do teach my students, and my students know only about me and my teaching style. My students can never get a chance to listen from other lecturers. So why don't I invite Sir Chandrasekhar sir or Srinivas Murthy sir or Salma madam to give a lecture session online, so that the student will have a variety of teaching methodology exposure. So then definitely they will feel very happy, and we also will become very happy that there is going to be a different kind of a reaction from our students. And as you all know very well, collaborative teaching and learning process is one of the major important aspect which is taken care or asked for in the NAC for departmental assessment as well. Make the learning process more interesting. Call the students for online panel discussion. Give them the quiz. Assign them the small tasks like organizing small events online. Thereby, they will become more interested, and then they will also start exploring what all different kinds of mechanisms are there, so that we can try to learn from all those things. I think we all are attending faculty development programs on digital usage, and then various kinds of platforms that where we can use it for teaching all these things. Why don't you make them get introduced to your students also? This is going to be more fun and more interesting as well. My daughter was talking about gamification. What do you mean by gamification? When I asked her, she told me that in the convent schools for small children, say for example LKG and UKG students, they are going to stamp the star or the best and good and smiling face and all that on their palm or on the hand. This definitely shows that whatever that effort that they are putting for that, they are giving the compliment. So gamification denotes that. Dear friends and dear colleagues, we do have a gamification process for online teaching and learning process. Here what we can do is, like, we can give small task to the students, and then later based on the activity that we have given it to them, we can allot the badges. Say for example, the confidence level, the creativity level, enthusiasm level, the dependability, empathy that they are showing on others, how they are keeping up the time, how they are leading the entire class, and then the teamwork, how they are focusing, etc., etc. Definitely, all these are going to make the teaching learning process a more fun learning one. Let's keep in mind about the generation gap. Where there is a generation gap, teaching learning process has to go together. See, the picture definitely denotes the grandfather and the grandchild, where they have a lot of differentiation. Each one generation had one kind of a facility that they enjoyed. Of course, the kind of a facility that I enjoyed in my generation as a school student, I bet you people wouldn't have enjoyed or may not be enjoying now. So please keep in mind the generation gap, and then try to come up with solutions with your teachers and the peer group friends also, because many of your friends may not be knowing how to handle the gadget as well, though they have a smartphone. If at all we are not going to come up with the solution for the generation gap, definitely what is going to happen is, just look at that. Online classes, the teacher asked the student to write an essay on dog. The child didn't know what to do. The child wrote the alphabets essay on dog. That means essay on dog. From his perspective it is right, but from teacher's perspective it is completely wrong. In the other picture, it says that the teacher gave the assignment saying that what I did on my summer vacation. She wanted everything in conventional method, that is in writing part, but then the student of this modern age, the digital age, did everything in a better manner in the Facebook page, and then the child is showing where the teacher is not ready to accept it, but then both are right on their perspectives. So we have to respect each and everybody's facilities, everybody's knowledge, etc. And I would like to say thanks to my WhatsApp friends for timely sending these pictures so that I can accommodate here and then I can come up with this presentation. Last but not the least, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Professor Esther Samuel Ma'am, Principal, Bishop Cotton Women's Christian College. And I would like to extend my thanks to Rajkumari, Assistant Professor and also Head of the Department of Sociology. When she approached me with this work, I was a little hesitant because I was attending my online FDP on research methodology from Indira Gandhi National Open University, which I was trying from last 2 years to get into that particular FDP. But then when she told me that I need to do this for students, I felt I should do it, I should not reject it. So I feel very comfortable and I felt very happy to take up this project. Next, I would like to say that hope these sessions from me, Dr. Sujata ma'am and Mr. Krishnamurthy sir has been a very fruitful one, I feel so. Yesterday morning when I saw even my fellow faculty friends were there in the WhatsApp group, I felt that I should address from teaching fraternity as well. That is why I divided the solutions to online learning as a conflict management from student perspective and from teacher's perspective. Hope I have not bored you. In future, I am planning to come up with a bridge course in sociology, environment science, human resource management with the free registration and e-certificates exclusively for students. And today afternoon itself, I had a communication with my friends regarding a certificate course in life skills, personality development and the Bangalore University syllabus of entrepreneurship and innovation. I am going to share all the links to all my learned colleagues. Whosoever is interested, they can bring up your students for registration process online and then definitely let them get the benefit out of all these courses. Thank you for patient listening. Now we keep the forum open for discussion. I welcome all the questions that you have, you can put forth. Thank you once again.